and welcome back to our channel. Let's make this Zara cap on the thumbnail. So I have my leather here. I'm using a thick leather, so you can use a Marco in place of this leather. The measurement is 3 inches by 17 inches, and I have this 4 pieces of Aso-oke right here. So the measurement for this Aso-oke is 6.5 inches by 24 inches. So the head circumference of your client or the person you're making this Zara cap for will determine the length of this Aso-oke. So whatever head circumference you're working with, you have to add like 2 or 3 inches to it. So the head circumference I'm working with is 22 inches, and I added 2 inches to it. So we're going to put this Aso-oke together and join it together like this with 1/4 of an inch, and then I'm also going to join the second one. So right now I've gone ahead to join the 3 Aso-oke together. I also fold 1/2 an inch at the starting point of this Aso-oke, but you can actually skip this part because I ended up not using the folded part because it was too thick. So I went ahead to mark the midpoint of the Aso-oke, fold it into 2 and mark the midpoint. You're going to do the same thing to your leather or your Marco, whichever you decide to work with. Okay, so fold it into 2 and mark the midpoint, or you can notch the midpoint. Okay, now you're going to align the midpoint of the Aso-oke with the midpoint of your leather or your Marco. Okay, so now you're going to fold over the 1/2 inch on top like this. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead now and then flip it over like this. But I ended up not folding it again because while I was stitching, it was hard for me to stitch on it because of the leather I'm using. But if you are using a Marco, it will be much easier. Okay, so you are not even expected to stitch on top of the Marco. Okay, so just fold it over like this, or you can fold it like this, fold 1/2 inch and then fold 3 inch and then stitch on it. Then you now pass your Marco or your leather inside. Whichever method you want to use is fine. Okay, but I'm just going to stick with this first method. Fold 1/2 and then put your Marco in and then fold it over again, and then just go ahead and top stitch on it. Like I said, I ended up not using the 1/2 an inch because it became too thick for me. So don't bother to fold 1/2 an inch, just put your Marco and then fold it over. Okay, so I stitch on both sides. After stitching on top, I also close both sides so that the Marco does not shift. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is to create our elastic casing. This Zara cap can be worn by anybody, any size, any head measurement. So I folded this Aso-oke is 4 inches. Okay, so by the time you fold it, it's going to be 2 inches. Okay, don't worry about the excess. I'm going to trim it out. So now you need 4 inches by 9 inches. So this is the excess. By the time you are done stitching, you'll be left with 1.5 inches by 9 inches. That is what you need for your elastic casing. So right now I'm cutting out the excess Aso-oke. So what I have here is 1.5 by 9 inches after stitching. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and just shape the body of the Zara cap. Okay, remember I said we have 24, so 24 divided by 2 is going to be 12. But because we are adding an elastic to this Zara cap, we're going to make use of 20 inches. We are subtracting from the head circumference. Okay, so at that point I'm marking 20 inches. That means 20 divided by 2 is 10. So I'm marking 10 inches at that point, and I'm going to mark it all the way and then just curve my hand in. Remember the 20 inches, which is 10 inches that I just marked there, I did not mark it all the way to the down. Okay, I just mark it at the beginning and then like 5 inches down. Okay, then you're going to shape it in to meet the exact Zara cap. I don't know if you understand. The remaining part you're just going to be taking 1/2 an inch inward. It's just the base, like the band area. That is where you're going to take it, because that part you're still going to fix in an elastic. Okay, so that it can stretch more. Okay, but if you use the exact measurement, it's not going to, it will be too big. That is just it. So while I go, I'm going to shape it. From that end, what I did was to mark 2 inches to just curve my hand in to shape the Zara cap. So you're going to go ahead and just close it. Can you see what I'm doing, guys? Just go ahead and close it this way. Please, if you have any question, don't forget to drop your question in the comment section. I will respond to them as soon as possible. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment for me. Thank you very much. So I went ahead to trim out the excess. So at this point, you can go ahead and overlock your Aso-oke. You can go ahead and overlock it, okay, because it has tendency of fraying, okay. So just overlock it. Right now I'm going to lose this part downward, okay. You're going to lose it to where you have 3 inches. That means where the band stopped, where your band stop, where you put your marker or your leather, okay. Just lose it up to 3 inches and then secure it very well, okay. So once you're done securing it, the next thing you're going to do is to go ahead and turn this your elastic casing inside out, okay. With your safety pin, just go ahead and then turn it inside out like this. Though it's not going to be easy for you to turn inside out, I have to be truthful, but just take your time, okay. So at this point I was done turning it inside out. I also ironed it and make sure that the same allowance is facing up. So this is my elastic, 1 inch elastic, and I'm going to cut 3 inches for the elastic, okay. 1 inch by 3 inches. So we're going to pass the elastic inside the elastic casing. So once you're done passing on one side, secure it down with your pin and then stretch it out to the other side of the elastic. So once you get to the other side, go ahead and then secure it down with your pin also, okay. Secure it down with your pins, and then you're just going to take it to your sewing machine and then stitch it down with your sewing machine so that it doesn't move around, okay, so that the elastic just stays in place, okay. So once you're done doing that, trim out all the excesses, and then we are going to now hem this part that is open. So what you do is to fold 1/2 inch and fold another 1/2 inch, okay. So all of your folds should stop at where your 10 inches stop, okay. Okay, so fold 1/2 and fold another 1/2. Just make sure that every of the allowance you are folding does not exceed where that 10 inches stop, okay. I mean where the 20 inches divided by 2 mark stop. I don't know if you understand. Make sure that it doesn't exceed that 10 inches. So just secure it down, and then you're going to repeat the same thing to the second part of the Zara cap, okay. So just trim out the excess. If you have if you have an overlocking machine, go ahead and overlock it, okay. So now I'm going to fold again, but at this point you have to take your time, because if you're working with an Aso-oke, it becomes very thick, okay. So take your time and just make sure you stitch so that you don't break needles, okay. So once you're done doing that, take your time. Like I said, I had to take my time to do all of these, okay. So once you're done doing that, cut off all your thread, and make sure you overlock the inside, the remaining part of the Aso-oke, or you use your bias to just pipe it to give you a perfect work and a neat work, okay. Okay, so once you're done, now we're going to go ahead now and secure the elastic in place, okay, on both sides. So once you're done securing it in place, we are going to go ahead now and then we're going to attach the elastic to the body of the Zara cap, okay. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment for me, and show some love. Thank you. So once you're done doing all of that, we are going to go ahead now and then adjust the elastic in place. Can you see? Adjust the gathers, okay. So now you're going to place it right side like this. You can fold 1/4 inch, okay, and then place it this way so that you can secure it in place. Please fold 1/4 inch so that the part that is fraying can face down so your work can look neater, okay? But you can also use your overlocking machine to just overlock it, okay? So can you see this part? It is very, very thick. Can you see? I'm not forcing it, okay? Because I noticed that it was so thick, so I'm taking my time to gradually go in and backstage and come back. You're going to stitch it multiple times so that when you start wearing the Zara cap, the elastic part does not come off, okay? So you do the same thing to the second part, okay? Do the same thing, stitch it down carefully, take your time. So at this point I was done stitching it down, okay? So I also went ahead to create some pleats on the body of the bag. I created like 7 pleats, so you could also use your needle and thread to gather the remaining parts. So the essence of doing this is to reduce the size of the Zara cap, okay? So you're going to go ahead and tuck it in like this, okay? So go ahead and tuck it in like this, okay? So once you're done tucking it in, cut out all the excess thread, okay? So we're going to go ahead now and create the bow. So for this Aso-oke, the length of the Aso-oke is 24 inches, okay, by 6.5. So what I did was to fold it into 2 equal parts, and then I stitch it down. After stitching it, I flip it inside out like this, and then I make sure that the seam line is facing the middle. Then you can go ahead and iron it, okay? After that, now we're going to create our bow or whatever design you want to create. I'm going to pleat it like this. So once you're done, you're going to grab your needle and thread and then just tack it in place, or you can use your thread to just tie it, okay? Whichever you want to do, but I think I'm doing needle and thread tacking. I'm going to hand tack it so that it's just stay in place and it can last for long. So just go in and out several times and then tack it in place. So once you're done tacking, this is where we're going to place it at the back of the Zara cap where the elastic is. That is where you're going to place it. You're not going to tack it on top of the elastic though. You're going to tack it close to that part, okay? So place it this way and then just go ahead and first of all secure your stitches at the back. Secure your stitches, okay? So now I'm going to create some knots at the back, go in and out, and then just use your thread, go around the needle twice or more and then pull it. So you can do this for 3 times or even more to be sure that your stitches are perfectly secured, okay? Then cut off your thread, and then now we're going to create our design, okay? So you see those 2 edges, I'll bring them together and overlap them a little, and then with my needle and thread I'm just going to go in and out and tack them in place. So you could just take your time and tag them in place. I will not advise you to use glue at this point because it can come off. Make sure that your work is perfect, okay? So use needle and thread to hand tack every part in place, okay? So once you're done, just go ahead and secure your stitches 2 or 3 times and then cut off your thread. Now we're going to go ahead now and use our glue gun to attach this design to the back of the Zara cap. So guys, this is what I've got. Now the pairs I used were a few. That is because this is the color I have at home presently. So you can do as many as you can, okay? Use a lot of pairs for it, design it the way you want it. Even the back, you can put pairs at the back. Hope you find this video helpful. If you have, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. I love you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't stop learning, keep learning. Bye. I love you.